even change modes, didn't turn off traction control. Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to the Flying Guides YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm in my Civic Type R, and I have a confession to make. I have not been to the track in almost 2 years. If you guys saw my I'm Back video, you guys maybe understand why, but long story short, second daughter was born. I'm the COO of an accounting firm, and that's taken up all of my time. But today is the day. I'm back at the firm. The track has changed significantly, so I don't know what to expect. And yeah, you guys are along for the ride. I'm gonna try to talk my way through it and see how it goes and try to have some fun. That's really what I'm here to do. I'm trying to have some fun. I need to let off some steam, let off some stress, and so here we are. Now, as you know, I have a number of track day cars I could have chosen. I could have taken my S2000, my Camaro ZL11LE. Yes, I still own that. I could have brought any of those cars. This is why the Civic Type R is such a great car. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. What makes the Civic Type R such a great, approachable car? I'm able to drive this today to the track, and I'm actually gonna have to go to the office. I'm gonna go to the office. I need fuel, so I'm not gonna do too many laps. Again, we're just gonna get down here and have some fun. Oh man, you know what I didn't do? I didn't check my tire pressures. I am on full tire pressures. I didn't lower them. All right, whatever. I'm just gonna send it anyway. Didn't even change modes, didn't turn off traction control. And I don't know this track at all. The Type R really is, it's my jam. I like front wheel drive, I like the power, I like the way it feels. Let's see if we get some heat in these brakes. Oops. I've never done this track backwards like this. It's like learning a brand new track. It's kind of annoying. And I got my kind of like the first track day jitters going on. Now, in case you guys don't know, I'm on my Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's that I got from the factory. So it's quite slippery. And I didn't reduce tire pressure, so my mistake. It does feel great to be back though. Yeah, it's all kind of slippery. Yeah, his tires are gone. I gotta buy some new tires. I'm understeering like a... air filter, HKS air filter, sounding amazing. Who needs an intake? And you got that. Love this turn. Even backward, I love the turn. I think we can do one more lap. Let's go. That sounds great. Alright, I'm bringing it in. No gas. This thing has a tiny gas tank, the biggest problem with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some gas so that I can go out next time and have some fun. But I don't think I bled my brakes well enough. It's a real shame, but we're gonna send some laps anyway. I'm out of practice, I'm rusty, and I'm terrible, so I apologize for the poor quality, but I'm not gonna get better again if I don't start doing it again. We're just gonna send it. Let's put it in R mode today. Let's see what else I can do here. Brakes don't feel very good. Ooh, Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. The factory tires are still on it. Gotta make sure my brakes are good. last thing I need is to go into that. That would be a bad day. Man, this turn is tight. Understeer. Understeering like crazy. As you can see, my comfort level has already gone way up, and that's the secret to this car. FL5 and FK8s, they're really good at being a great track car, and it makes you feel confident and competent almost immediately. Watch this next session here as I even get more comfortable and start passing cars. Hell yeah, boys.
pushing so hard, my dang camber mount came off.
The red mist descended, and I was very concentrated in going as fast as possible on this new track layout at the firm and passing everybody that I could. And I was passing a bunch of people, and it was a ton of fun, and I miss doing this, and I can't wait to do it a lot more often. To answer the question, yes. Excellent track car. Now, as a reminder, I am on stock factory tires and wheels, the 265 3019s, I believe, Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's. Fantastic tire. I have a whole video reviewing these tires, so I'm not gonna go over the whole thing now, but they still gripped fairly well. I mean, I was sliding everywhere. Obviously, I'm not gonna set the fastest time, but the fact that I was passing fully race-prepped race car, and after almost 2 years of not being on a track, me getting there with a new, brand new layout, being able to put some fairly decent laps together, fast enough to pass some people. From what I gathered in my experience, the car is fantastic. Obviously, the couple of gripes are still there. It started pulling timing a little bit because it started getting a little bit overheated. I'm still thinking on whether or not I want to do an oil cooler mod or 2 oil coolers. There's a guy with an FL5 I met today with a white one. He actually lives not too far from me, which is really cool. And he did dual oil coolers and put NACA ducts on the bumper. I thought that was fantastic. I might do that to my car. I don't know. The reason I don't want oil coolers is because there's a lot of extra oil lines everywhere. You got to make sure that they stay tight, they don't leak. Hopefully, none of those hoses blow off or anything like that. It's an extra added complexity, but I may have to do it. As you guys know, the FL5 overheats. This is a completely stock FL5, no power mods at all, nothing. The other thing, the brakes, I did not do a good job bleeding the brakes, so they were a little bit spongy, and so I was always testing the brakes after every straightaway. And obviously that's also not conducive to the fastest times, but I regret none of it. I am so glad I own my Civic Type R. I can't see myself not owning my FL5 Civic Type R. In fact, I kind of want an FK8. Not because it's that different from the FL5, but I feel like if I can get a used FK8, I would cage it up and I would make it into a race car. The race car that I wanted to make with my FK8s. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that with this car. The problem is I'm stuck between choosing whether I want to full-on race mode this thing or OEM Plus. I think I'm still gonna do the OEM Plus thing. I should probably buy a disposable, more disposable race car, but I have to see what I'm gonna do with it. I do want to do time attack. I want to do time trials. I want to do SCCA track days. I'm going to be spending more time at the track this year, I believe, and that's because I have this car. Can you imagine if I had even a Porsche 911, the amount of maintenance costs just to go out on a track. I literally, all I did, I do have DTC 60s and DTC 30 brake pads on this thing, but I use it as a daily driver type thing. I don't really daily drive this thing all the time, but when I drive it to work, I'm literally, hey, I went to the track, I actually went to my office after the track, and now I'm going home. And so, what car can you take to the track, put down some decent lap times, put down some decent laps together, go to your office, and not look like an idiot when you're in your office? You know, it's not a ratted out, terrible car. And then just drive it home in comfort of air conditioning. You know, it's got lane keep assist. It's keeping me in my lane. No hands, look. It's pretty fantastic. It's a pretty fantastic package. Is it still worth it in 2026? Is it still worth it for the track specifically? That's the question I wanted to answer. And I already said yes, and I think I answered why. This car punches above its weight, it punches above its class, it punches above its price. Very reliable, very useful, very utilitarian, very daily driver friendly. Anyway, enough about my love for the Civic Type R. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.